Fast Food Nation is the most controversial book I ever read. All over the world, all people in nowadays know what is the Big Mac or KFC chickens. However, many people doesn't know what fast food exactly is. Fast Food Nation answered clearly and revealed the truth and behind story of the fast food enterprise. First of all, it started from the history of the fast food companies. At glance, it looked good and interesting, but when read deeper and deeper, their evil way gradually revealed. For example, fast food companies planned to make staffs union. Moreover, fast food companies injected too much medicine to grow their cattle as fat as they could. For his argument, I agree with his argument. First, fast food is unhealthy. Second, it can ruin the local economy. Third, we need to change our diet. Fast food contains unhealthy ingredients. Plus, cattle were injected too much antibiotics, so it can ruin our body health. Second, American did not afford to supply the whole meat, so companies made a plantation from another country such as South America, and then they ruined their local economy and environment. Finally, we need to change our diet culture. We could not in every food full of handmade, cause our life is so busy. The point is that we try to reduce the fast food in our diet.
What I chose to do is Hitler's willing executioners ordinary Germans in the Holocaust. And the author speculates two main arguments towards the role Germans played during the Holocaust. He narrates the idea that Germans share collective responsibility for the Holocaust, and the death camp system demonstrate not just Nazism, but Germans' true faces and identity. The first argument is pretty much saying that the Germans are who we are to blame for whatever happened. He says that if they didn't really want the whole Holocaust to happen, or towards all that hatred, that they didn't have to go through the killing, and they were doing it because they wanted to. And then there's the other side that says they were doing it because they were scared. But he knocks down all those ideas, and since this book was published in 1994, it was very scandalous during that time because people argued that people said that was lies against Germans. There was many bias according to Germans too. So then the second part that he also argues is pretty much saying that back to that they already had hatred, and it's pretty much I guess he kind of refers to it like nowadays, like how we have Mexicans and all these races together, and it's like if one race doesn't like the other one, and let's say somebody comes and says your life's going to be much better without the other race, and you have to have that much hatred to be able to kill people, to be able to throw babies in the air and actually shoot at them. So that's pretty much what he's referring to in the book. And this book isn't an easy read because it's like there's so many words in there that you won't be able to understand, because like I said, this book goes back to like the 90s time, so it's very different to know how it is now. He does a very good job though by supporting his position, by giving good details of everything, of psychology details, like everything. So I would recommend this book as well. It's a very good book, and then this is a picture of the book I read and I did my essay on, and it's a good book. So thank you.
Was The Spirit Catches You and You Fall Down, a Hmong child, her American doctors, and the collision of two cultures, written by Anne Federman. This novel is about a Hmong family from Laos and their special daughter, Leah Lee. Leah Lee wasn't born in Laos like her other siblings. She was born in California. She was born a healthy baby girl, but problems arose around 3 months of age. Her sister Year slams the door at her house and scares Leah's soul right out of her. This was called Quag Deb Peg, roughly translated as the spirit catches you and you fall down, or in Hmong English dictionaries, simply put as epilepsy. The Lees thought of it as a gift and not a disease. They thought she would become a Texas Neb, or a shaman, an equivalent to American doctor. The seizures got worse, so now Cow and Fow brought Leah to the emergency room at Merced Community Medical Center. Here is when the two conflicts emerge: Hmong versus American culture and medicine/healing. The Hmong are uneducated in both English and Hmong, so understanding medical terminology or prescriptions are out of the question for them. They simply nod and don't act due to miscommunication, translators don't help. Doctors just assume all their patients can simply do the task of taking medicine, but they never met the monk. When it came to healing, doctors used 24 plus medications to treat Leah, but they rarely used them. Instead, they sacrificed animals such as dogs, chickens, pigs, and cows in their homes. As a result, they neglected Leah. Both parties lacked communication and the understanding of each other's cultures. At the end, Leah suffered irreversible brain damage from a grand mal seizure, and was left her a vegetable. I thought the book was pretty great. Anne Friedman felt both sides of the argument equally and made us, the readers, decide whether it was the fault of the doctors or the fault of the parents, but they're both at fault. If she was ever biased, Fadiman explained in her preface that she was going in blind and she wasn't an expert in either culture. So, and also I really loved how the book was set up. Like every other chapter was about Leah, so you could skip the chapters in between and still get a full book. And you can always go back to get history of the monk or what Anne Fediman did with the Lees. As for my interviewers, they all agreed with me. They took no sides. They blamed both sides of the issue. Both the doctors and the family were at fault.
The title of my book is Killing Kennedy, and the authors are Bill O'Reilly and Martin Duggar. They make a point to say that everything in the book is factual, and that's why they don't give their opinion of who exactly was the one who killed the president. They include Oswald just because it's undeniable that he wasn't a part of the assassination, but they basically just lay out the idea that others believe that it was set up because of the fact that there were witnesses that day that say they saw Oswald's gun, and they don't understand how the Secret Service wasn't able to catch that. So those are conspiracy theories. Throughout the book, it's mainly about the president's life. They don't begin to talk about the assassination until the very end of the book. Throughout the book, they explain his affairs, basically his marriage, his health, and the events that led him up to his presidency. And that's it.
I did my project on the book Culture of Corruption, Obama and His Team of Tax Cheats, Crooks, and Cronies by Michelle Malkin. The book contains 9 chapters that shed light on different parts of the Obama administration. The different parts Malkin speaks about range from secretaries all the way to the vice president. In these chapters, it gives specific examples and evidence proving that the person she is talking about has lied, cheated, or any other type of action considered corrupt. For example, in Chapter 1, OWNS Obama with nominee withdrawal syndrome, Malkin reports how nominee for Secretary of Health and Human Services withdrew very suddenly after the public found out that he had not paid $43,000 in taxes and also had some involvement in scandals. The rest of the chapter goes on and has more examples of nominees withdrawing in the same manner. In every other chapter, Malkin reports and gives her opinions about events that have happened that support her argument that the Obama administration is filled with cronies. While reading the book, I have to say that Malkin is very biased. The title alone can be an example. She includes the phrase Obama and his team of tax cheats, crooks, and cronies. One can obviously realize that she is a conservative person. In the book, there is an example of a biased view in almost every other page. For example, when using a quote from Democratic Senator, she adds, in parentheses, "Yes, even a broken clock is right twice a day." Clearly, she wants readers to still think of the Democratic Party as being wrong, even when she agrees with them. When it comes to argument that the Obama administration is corrupt, I have to say I agree. However, I only agree to a certain extent. What I don't agree with is how Malkin believes the administration is like some sort of evil. Yes, they are corrupt and keep things from the public, but then again, what administration in U.S. history has ever not been that way? In the article I read called "The Obama Administration and Open Government" by Kerry Coghlan explains how there it is not smart to think that the government should only have uncorrupt members, and that people are not perfect and have done something wrong in their lives. If voters think they should be in there, by all means they should be in that office. Coghlan says, in her own words, even while I was interviewing Alma Razzo, she said, "Why is Malkin so surprised that there is corruption in the administration? Sadly, there is always some sort of corruption in the presidency, and that doesn't mean that they are evil." So in all, I have to say Malkin is right about the Obama administration being corrupt, but then again, there has never been one that wasn't.